Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Adam Dorsey, a psychologist in Silicon Valley, and I am the host of Super Psyched, a podcast dedicated to supercharging your life. Each episode contains fun, high-quality interviews with experts looking at psychology from all angles. Super Psyched is your tool to get more of what you want in your life and less of what you don't. Can you imagine a gift that if you gave it to someone, it would probably give them happiness that they could draw on for the rest of their lives, and it would only take you in total maybe about an hour to give? It would cost you pretty much nothing, and there is research to show that not only will your recipient derive incredible happiness, emotional well-being, a reduction in negative symptoms such as sadness and depression, but certainly an increase in happiness and connection with you, and that you would actually probably derive the same benefits. Would you be interested? Well, all it would require from you is a little bit of time and the courage to share something perhaps a little bit that might feel a little bit mushy to you. What I'm talking about right now is a gratitude letter, and I'm going to explain what it is, how to write it, and most importantly, I'm going to start with why you want to write it. So years ago, we knew that gratitude was a good thing, and it's been a heavily featured practice in cultures as well as religions. And we also know every Thanksgiving, we're supposed to really lean into gratitude, but why not lean into gratitude all the time? And why not lean into gratitude with people and love? Because oftentimes I'll think of these gratitude letters as being, and I apologize for being a bit morbid here, but an insurance policy against having to say during a eulogy, oh my gosh, I wish I had said this while the person was alive who I love. I wish I'd had the courage to tell them how important they were to me and how important the things that they did for me were to my life. And what's amazing about gratitude is it's been my experience, and I believe it's been corroborated by science, that gratitude can actually supplant your feelings of anxiety. So while we can't tell ourselves, don't be anxious, we can tell ourselves, hey, let's feel grateful, and replace that feeling of anxiety with something different altogether. And functional MRIs actually show that experiencing gratitude on the regular will change our brains. Certain parts of our brains are boosted, particularly in the prefrontal areas that are responsible for decision making and other what we call executive functions. So gratitude is a really big deal. And giving gratitude in certain ways could be the most selfish thing you could do because it's so good for you. But the great news is it's actually also simultaneously a virtuous cycle. It is actually rather selfless in the sense that it is possibly one of the great gifts we can ever give another person. One of the other things I want to bring up is Brené Brown's dictum of the idea that we are only as courageous as we are willing to be vulnerable. And the gratitude letter is an opportunity for us to be courageous and vulnerable simultaneously. All right, so here is how you do it. And it pretty much explains what it is. First off, call to mind someone to whom you're grateful, someone who has done something instrumental in your life, who is living, and from whom no financial or professional benefit might be gained as a result of this exercise. Somebody who is just a pure relationship. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be a former mentor or a current mentor or a colleague who will not be giving you a raise for having provided this beautiful act. All right. Second thing you do is, in my case, I'd like to pour myself a cup of tea or a nice big glass of water, but set the alarm, set the count back alarm, and write in under 20 minutes, ideally. Try to make it 20 minutes. Let's say 300 to 500 word document expressing in clear, concrete language what this person has done for you. For example, I might be thanking my college professor, saying, before I took your class, I had no idea that Japan would be such an incredible place to learn about. And as a result of having taken your class, I ended up living there for nearly 3 years. I'm so grateful it has enriched my life. You have enriched my life. You seeing Japan through your eyes allowed me to really tap into the beauty of the place. And I carry you with me, and I carry my experience of Japan everywhere I go, even though I don't live in Japan anymore. Having spent time in Japan really gave me a foundation in so many things, including appreciation of aesthetics, music, art, the way people interact, because the Japanese have such a beautiful way of treating other people. And all of that came about because you opened the door and opened my eyes, something like that. And then you finish it and maybe you put it on some nice paper and print it up. If you've been doing it on for example, if it's not been handwritten, or if you wrote it, perhaps you write it on beautiful paper in just kind of an aesthetically pleasing way. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about being a Shakespeare or some type of brilliant writer. Just really focus on the feelings. Then what you want to do is set up a date and say to that person, hey, I'd like to meet with you either in person or perhaps by Zoom. I promise you it's all good. I just have something really sweet to share with you. I'd love to have like a 30-minute meeting just to hang with you. And then at the assigned time, if it's via Zoom, you read it to the person with them on the other end, preferably with them having a copy themselves that they can open up while you're reading it to them, or you could just read it to them and send it to them afterward. Some people like to laminate these gratitude letters, but the important thing is that you do it. And what has been found in the research around doing this particular practice is that both parties feel good. Either one or both parties often end up crying tears of joy during the course of this. And while there are no guarantees about outcome, it is very consistently a positive experience for both parties. So I strongly urge you to not think about this too much. Call somebody to mind. Do it once. You might find yourself doing it more than once. And you might even be able to make this a thing where people, can you imagine a world where people did this regularly and people were walking around with echoes of love in their heads and hearts from the gratitude that they received from people who mattered to them? This would be great. So maybe you'll even consider that it might even have a ripple effect. Perhaps you will be the start of some new trend. Perhaps this can be passed on. This would be my wish for 2022, that everybody engages in this activity and that everyone is the beneficiary of both giving and receiving a gratitude letter. So here's to 2022, wishing you all a very good new year. And I'm so thankful to all of you for making my podcast a possibility, because without you, the listener, there would be no podcast. So thank you for being a fan and for causing me to try to bring out my best with these amazing guests who bless us with their wisdom and their most precious gift of all, their time. See you soon. This is Dr. Adam Dorsey thanking you for listening to Super Psyched. If you know anyone who might like it or who might benefit from listening, share it. And if you like the episode, please hit subscribe.